Hello and welcome to this tutorials. So we are going to be making a regular granny square from reading a pattern. So I've previously talked about reading patterns in my previous video. If you haven't seen it, please scroll down to my video and see the video. Alright, so if you want to learn how to read patterns, or you want to learn how to identify symbols of patterns like this, I have a video on my Telegram page. I'm going to be adding the name of the Telegram on this video, so you can just search for the name on Telegram and you're going to find the video there. It's free, there's no charge attached. So let's get straight into working with this pattern to make a regular granny square. So for this particular tutorial, I'm going to be using these two colors, a blue and a red. So I'm just going to be changing colors as I go on. So I'm going to start with the blue yarn first, and we're going to be doing this part of the pattern. So in this pattern, the stitches used are chain stitch and double crochet stitches for the three clusters in the chain stitch right here. Double crochet stitches and chain stitches, just like a regular granny square. So in this pattern, the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to chain 4. So I'm using a 4.5mm hook. So you're going to chain 4, and I'm using my tension ring too. So you slip knots like this, and then you chain for 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what we're going to do, this symbol here that looks like a dot, this particular symbol that looks like a dot right here, it is a slip stitch, right? This is a slip stitch, that dot right there. So I'm going to slip stitch into the first chain here, right here. So I'm going to go straight in there and make a slip stitch. So after we have done that, you make sure that you recognize the middle of that 4 chains that you just made and slip stitch together. So what we're going to do next is to chain 3. These are chain stitches. This symbol right here, they're chain stitches. So I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and into the middle point of the chain 4, which is right here, I'm going to do 2 double crochets. So that means the 3 chains that we made, they already stood for our first double crochet. So they already stood for our first double crochet. So we're going to move on to make 2 chains right here. 2 chains right here. I really hope that you're seeing what I'm doing. 2 chains right here. 2 chains, 1 and 2, and I'm going to make the next 3 double crochets. I'm going into that midpoint again, and I'll make 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. I've made my second 3 double crochet clusters, and I'm going to move over here and make 2 chains again. So we're going to continue like that. So after 2 chains, I'm going to make 3 double crochets like I've made before, and then 2 more chains, and then 3 double crochets. And then I'm going to make my last 2 chains, which is right here. My last 2 chains is right here, and then I'm going to make a slip stitch into the top of the 3 chains that we made at first. So I'm going to make 2 chains, 1 and 2, and then into the top of the 3 chains, which is this one right here, I'm going to make a slip stitch. Let's do it very well. I like to go in like this so that I have a sturdy grab. So if we look at it very well, so we have 3 double crochet clusters, 1 2 3. I mean 4 double crochet clusters, 1 2 3 and 4, and here too we have 1 2 3 and 4. So that marks the first row, or the first round of our granny square. So I'm going to change colors now, and I'm going to cut off this yarn like so. So this is what we have from this pattern. So using the second color, which is red, so if you look very closely, excuse me, you see that for this pattern, for this row, we started on this side, which is right here, and then we'll start with three chains, because these round symbols, they stand for chains. So I'm going to go ahead and make 3 chains. So you put your hook into the chain 2 here. That means the last chain 2 from this previous row, or the previous round, I mean. Make a slip knot, then pull through that chain 2 and chain 3. That will stand for our first double crochet, just like we did on this side. So we're going to go in with 2 double crochets right here. So these particular symbols, this one stands for double crochet. So if you want to know more about pattern reading, I have a video on my Telegram. I'm going to put the name on Telegram here. Just do a screenshot and put it on here. You can search on your Telegram and you're going to find it. So I now made 2 double crochets more. That will make it 3 double crochets, right? So we're going to move ahead to the next one. These are chain stitches right here. This symbol represents chains, so we're going to do 2 chains here, 1 and 2 chains, and then we're going to go back into that chain 2 here, right, and make 3 double crochets. I told you before that this symbol stands for 3 double crochets, so it stands for double crochets. So we're going to make 3 double crochets, 1 2 and 3. So I'm going to go ahead and do 1 2 and 3, right? So move on to the next thing. This I already told you is called a chain stitch. So we're going to make 1 chain, and then into the chain 2 of the previous round, we're going to make 3 double crochets, 2 chains, 3 double crochets, 2 chains, and 3 double crochets. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So this is what we have right now. We're going to move on to the next one because we're going around. We're going to move on. This symbol stands for chain, right? And then we'll move on to the chain 2 of the previous round, and it has 3 double crochets, 2 chains, and 3 double crochets. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Chain 2, so we're done with this corner. So we're going to move ahead here, and then we're going to do a chain, and then we're going to go to the next corner, which is the chain 2 of the previous round, and I think this is the last chain 2 of the previous round. We're going to chain 1, right, 3 double crochets because this symbol stands for double crochets. 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. So if you look very closely, we're almost done, right? What is next now is this chain right here. What is next now is this chain right here and a slip knot on the top of the third chain right here, right? That's the first 3 chains that we made on this round. So we're going to make a slip knot on top of it. So we've done 1 chain, then we're going to do a slip knot on the top of the chain 3 right here. So far, following this pattern, we've been able to make 2 rounds of granny square. So we're going to continue to make the last round of the granny square. So what I'm going to do, because I want to change colors, chain 2, cut off the yarn, pull it out, and then I'll pull close. So this is what we have for now. So this is the first 2 row, and this is the first 2 row of the patterned granny square. So let's move on. So if you look very closely, the 3rd row started on the corner right here, started on the corner. The 3rd row I mean, started on the corner of this pattern. So we're going to start the 3rd row on this corner right here. I'm going to start on this corner right here. So I'm going to pull out my blue yarn and I'm going to start on this corner right here. On this corner, you can choose any corner you would like, whatever corner you would like, you can choose it. Oh, let me just choose this corner because it correlates with this pattern right here. So I'll just choose this corner here, which is this place. So I'm going to insert my hook, make a slip knot like that, and then I'm going to pull through. Of course, like the other ones that we've been making, this symbol right here stands for chains. So I'm going to make 3 chains, yeah, and I'm going to go straight into that same space and make 3 double crochets, 2 double crochets, because the first 3 chains, they already stand for 1 double crochet. So the next is to make the chain, which is this symbol. So we're going to chain 2, right, go straight into that same space and make 3 double crochets. So we move from this point, we go to this point and make a chain, right? Then we move again and into the chain 1 that we made previously, which is this space right here. We're going to make 3 double crochets. I'm going to make the 3rd double crochet, right, like this. Then we'll move on to the next, and it says we should chain 1. This symbol stands for chain 1. And then you move to the next corner here. Inside these 2 chains here, you're going to make 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. So let's get right to it. If you've watched it to this point, I want to believe you already got a hang of making granny squares from reading patterns. So I'm just going to continue to make, excuse me, this granny squares from the pattern. The next is to make one chain, and into the previous chain underneath here you're going to make 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Next is to make one chain, and into these 2 chains here we're going to make 3 double crochet, 2 chains, and 3 double crochets. If you want to learn pattern reading, I have a full tutorial of a chart where I've interpreted it with a video, a very long and very explanatory video for each symbol and chart, so it is easy to understand. The next thing is for us to make one chain and then make 3 double crochets in the previous one chain, 1, 2, and 3, right? The next is to make one chain, and into this cluster 3 double crochets, 2 chains, and 3 double crochets. This is the last 2 double crochet corner. So the next thing is to make 3 double crochet into the last chain right here, and then we'll make one chain and then a slip stitch into the 3rd chain of the 3 double crochet, that then 3 chains that we made last, chain 1, right? And then we're going to go into the top of these 3 chains that we made in the previous one, and then we're going to make, not in the previous one, in this row, make a slip stitch here. And this is what we have for our double crochet that we made from reading this pattern. So what I'm going to do now is chain 2, cut this off, pull it out, and knot it tightly like this. This is what it looks like. So this is what we have from this to this, from reading this pattern to this pattern. And you should look very closely at this pattern. What we have here is looking like Spanish or whatnot. But what is very important is, if you already have an idea of what this means, of what these symbols means, you don't have any business with this Spanish that is written underneath here. So this is what we have right now. I hope you've been able to learn how to make a granny square from a pattern that looks like this. And it is funny how we have variations of granny squares from patterns. This is one. This is another one. This is another one. This is the basic one that we just did, but with another type of symbol. But if you look at it, it's different from the previous symbol that we just mastered. And then there's this, and then there's a lot of this, and then there's a lot of this too, and then there's this. So there's actually lots more, but so we're going to be working on all of this in all of our next videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.